Please welcome back Kai Mata, back because I love her. She's talking about her new single, So Hard, and the video that you need to check out. And we're going to try to get her on the Ellen DeGeneres show. But for now, she's here on the Better Each Day podcast radio show.
Welcome to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. Today and every day, reaching out for innovative ideas in every way. Today's show is brought to you by your future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. Make a better each day now, baby. Better in every way.
Your new video. Tell me about the video. Did you direct that and write it and the whole deal, or?
So I worked with a lovely team. I had a videographer named Fabian Rachuk. He is Argentinian and French. And he did everything from the production side of it and producing it. But together we came up with the idea that we wanted it to be every actor directly looking into the camera and singing to each individual to have the biggest impact. Because we wanted it to be a very engaging story in which we create a conversation with the listener and the viewer, rather than them seem like they are a third party just witnessing something. But it's to bring them in, to bring them into the excitement, to bring them into the story, into the message that we're trying to send.
It's fun to watch, too. Right off the bat, you tossed your ukulele. Who caught that?
Thank you. Thank goodness someone caught it, because it was not my ukulele.
What is it? Oh, it's not yours?
No, it's not mine.
Oh, so you have like a stunt double ukulele then?
So it was the venue we were filming at. They have instruments there.
Okay.
I was very blessed to be offered the space to use for the whole day to shoot this video. And of course, the first thing I do is decide to throw the ukulele around.
That's good. You know, just want to feel welcome wherever you are. And I usually start off, if I come over to a stranger's house or something, I grab some furniture or something. How about this vase? Can I toss this? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's my father's ashes. Oops, sorry. Okay.
Well, thankfully someone caught it. Thankfully we only needed one take, and thankfully I haven't received notice that I'm not allowed into that establishment anymore. The establishment is like Revive Bali, which is a coffee shop in Indonesia.
Oh.
Owned by a British-Australian man named Oliver James. Shout out to him.
Lots of diversification. Yeah. You're naming off all these people from all over the place. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're doing, use music as your vehicle to connect with people. In your words, why is music a good way to do that?
For me, the power of words is like monumental in itself. But then when lyrics are added with a melody and a rhythm, that power and strength grows exponentially. For me, it feels like it's an easier way to forego all of the barriers that we put up as individuals to allow us to connect with others at a level which is truthful, which is sincere.
Here's Kai's latest single, So Hard.
Come and hear the words they say. Are you bi or are you gay? Oh, how I thought you were straight. What a pity, such a shame. You both look so feminine. Don't you miss it with a man? With two girls, how does that work? 'Cause I can always be your third. Well, I'll answer all your questions, though I know it won't fit in your fantasy. Despite the ego telling you our bedroom does not want your company. So go and lust and fantasize, but nothing more. Despite your tries, I don't need a dictator to tell me what I need. this isn't just a phase. Doesn't even work that way. You think you can turn me straight? Well, maybe I can turn you gay. Oh, did I just cross a line? 'Cause you've been overstepping mine. It seems your masculinity suffers insecurity. So go and lust and fantasize, but nothing more. Despite your tries, I don't need a dictator to tell me what I need. Is it so hard seeing two girls in love? So hard, as if it's not enough. So hard, it's only okay 'cause it makes you hard. Is it so hard seeing two girls in love? So hard, as if it's not enough. So hard, it's only okay 'cause it makes you hard. So go and lust and fantasize, but nothing more. Despite your tries, I don't need a dictator. I don't need a dictator to tell me what I need.
I like how you use comedy too, because the song's pretty light, you know. I think people think better when their brains are happy. It's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a very important thing to make it light. If it was too serious, the message wouldn't be heard. And with a topic that can be considered quite heavy like this, it needed to have that balance of a light comedy airiness that invited people to join in the movement rather than shamed people.
We were having fun too. It's just fun to watch it. Like I was saying, you can watch it on YouTube. Is there can the music be bought? How is this distributed?
Yeah, the music can be bought and streamed. So Hard, the single, is available on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you really listen to music. It could also be bought on Bandcamp, which really helps me out. And, watch the video. The video is a great video. I had a great team working with me of a dozen international members of the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm grateful.
So what's next for you? Are you playing a lot live?
At the moment in the US, no. I am here working on promoting this single, first of all. And secondly, gaining inspiration for the album I'm recording that will be released in December.
An album, all right.
Yes, another one.
Here is the title cut to Kai Mata's previous album, Time to Shine.
I've been waiting. You've been trying to find the butterflies, to feel just right, to live this life so true. Thank God I found myself the day I met you. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. We've been hopeful for change. It's gonna come. They'll see many times must we walk this road? We hear bluebirds fly somewhere over this rainbow, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, shine, shine. It's time. This is our time. This is our time to shine. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time to shine. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time to shine. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time to shine. This is our time. This is our time. And I'm not waiting when you are shining. I found my little light. This feels just right with you. Bluebirds fly in truth. Thank God I found myself. I found myself. I found myself the day I met you.
Do you do all the vocals?
All of them are myself,
Oh,
including on So Hard.
Yeah.
Everything's myself.
that's fun. You get to sing with yourself. An interesting thing to do. I do it myself sometimes, even overdubs.
Yes.
Used to be against my religion to do overdubs, but they sound good in some applications, I think. So
I agree.
it's done a lot. You were on a podcast.
Was it Showing Up Messy?
Yeah.
Showing Up Messy, her name is Katie Barbaro. She is a new friend of mine that I met in Bali, Indonesia.
Okay, cool.
But we found out after talking that we grew up pretty close by to each other in Los Angeles, actually. So we're both from the same area.
How was it you ended up in Bali?
Me, I am an Indonesian American, and I decided to move to Indonesia. Actually, I moved to Indonesia when I was 14. It wasn't my choice, and I didn't want to. But I'm very grateful for that opportunity because I learned a lot about who I am and who I am within the world as a whole. And then when I was an adult, I went back to the US and decided it wasn't really home anymore. The values and the lifestyle wasn't how I wanted to live. So I traveled and decided to move back to Indonesia. And out of all the places in Indonesia, what was the biggest benefit and the biggest mix for me was being in Bali, where I could experience a life with foreigners and expatriates, as well as local culture. It is the most liberal place in Indonesia out of all 17,000 islands, so I felt that would be a good home base for me to be able to pursue creative pursuits, as well as feel comfortable with being an open member of the LGBTQ plus community.
You've done a lot in 21 years. You're 21 years old?
Yes, I'll soon be 22.
Yeah, I think you had just turned 21 the last time I talked to you, and you said it was opening new avenues because you could play places that served liquor.
Yes, that is such a big difference.
Yeah, I did that illegally for a long time. I think I started when I was 18, and they never carded me. In fact,
They never carded you?
No, in fact, they'd serve drinks. They never questioned it, and I looked like I was a little kid too. But
I always get carded. Even for things like, people get really confused when I'm driving, and they think that I'm a child driving.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, I'm old enough.
What does that feel like? Because you do look way younger than 21.
I know. I think it's funny. I was at Costco and trying to get a sample of food, and she asked me if I was old enough to be sampling without my parents, and I said, is 21 old enough? And she's like, oh yeah, the minimum age is 12. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, good to know.
So you're sitting at a restaurant and they bring the crayons out for you or anything like that?
Not anymore, thankfully.
Jeez. Okay. See, I could almost say that happened to me. I don't know. I'm not very tall, and when I was a kid, I looked like a little kid. But no, I look old. But that's all right.
Oh, no.
I don't mind. See, I'm becoming a minority of my own now because I think people look at you and they say, you're old, you're no fun anymore. And really, that's not the case. I think I'm crazier than I've ever been in my life. Less inhibited. And I know how to have fun, and I know how to stay out of trouble. And that I didn't know when I was younger. I think I was a little bit more of a risk taker. That's about me. I'll edit that stuff out.
Oh, no, keep it in.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything else you want to say?
Probably, if anyone has any connections to Ellen, we are trying to get on the Ellen show.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, and I thought that's perfect. And it's a matter of connections. So 6 degrees to Ellen. I'm sure
yes.
she'd be, totally enthused to have you on there.
Exactly.
You're everything that she does, and the enthusiasm, I think, is, it's brilliant what you're doing. So it's a perfect fit. A lot of what I do is just phoning people and saying, would you like to talk with me? And I have no problem with doing that. It's a matter of finding the right agent and presenting what you have, and going to have 1 minute of your time to talk about this. And they're usually pretty cool. You know what? I'm going to give that a plug for you and see what happens.
Oh, thank you, Bruce.
Who knows? See, that's another thing that comes with my age is with the lack of inhibition. There's no fear, And you have that.
Yes.
You have it too. When did you overcome the fear thing? A lot of people are just afraid to stand in front of an audience and talk. And some people are even more fearful of singing in front of an audience. But you have a message. I don't know. Did you just have an epiphany and say, I am no longer afraid, and just come out and do what you do? Or how did that work?
I think there's always fear for me. I still experience fear to this day. It's the idea of recognizing that fear, accepting that it's there, seeing its purpose, and then deciding whether or not it's rational to think that way, and then moving forward from there. Because fear can be equally as driving as it is an inhibitor, depending on how we approach it and what we do with it.
Rosa Parks, she's in the history books as the first black woman to get on the bus and sit wherever she felt like sitting. And it was like in Alabama, in a southern state. And a really bad time in racial history. And she ended up in court, and she ended up in all these problems. And that shouldn't have been. There was trouble, or there shouldn't have been trouble. But she came out with a great quote, and I don't have it verbatim, but it was something to the effect of, when you have a cause or you really believe in something, you're not afraid. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought that was a good way to articulate the whole thing.
Exactly. I think being able to perform for me is so linked with a cause behind me. Not even usually an overarching one. It's more so connecting with each individual in the audience, making eye contact, and having a conversation with them, even though I'm singing. But when I do that, it doesn't feel daunting to get on stage or to put out a message or to share these vulnerable thoughts and feelings. It is more so inspiring and uplifting because it is heard, it is understood, and all the while I am understanding each person in the audience that is taking the time to listen to me.
You have a way of inviting, though. You're just telling them what they got to know, take me on my terms or nothing type of thing. You don't do that at all. You're just, here it is, and you're inviting, I think.
I would hope so.
That's cool. It's I think a hard thing to do, and not a lot of people even consider it. Just me, just my thoughts there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, with that in mind, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you, Bruce.
I'll keep an eye on you, and I'll see if I can get a hold of Ellen.
Yes, please. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, did I just cross a line? 'Cause you've been overstepping mine. It seems your masculinity suffers insecurity. So go and lust and fantasize, but nothing more. Despite your tries, I don't need a dictator to tell me what I need. Is it so hard seeing two girls in love? So hard, as if it's not enough. So hard, it's only okay 'cause it makes you hard. Is it so hard seeing two girls in love? So hard, as if it's not enough. So hard, it's only okay 'cause it makes you hard. So go and lust and fantasize, but nothing more. Despite your tries, I don't need a dictator. I don't need a dictator to tell me what I need.
You've been listening to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. We'll be back with a new horizon, but until then, honor the future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee.
And we're all just trying to make the next day a bit better.